Alright guys, welcome back to another video on Kerbal Space Program. Today I'm playing 0.18 and I'll be going over a few new things within the update. So this here is my first space station. Took a while to make, but I figured out how to do everything eventually. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so when you first get into this screen and you want to start creating your very own machine, you will notice that there are 4 new pods. The 3 pods down here are all probes. This one here has 1 crew member in it. Okay, so when you get to propulsion, you'll notice that there is a Rocketmax Jumbo fuel tank. Jumbo. Anyway, you'll notice that it is humongous. Essentially, all it is just 2 Rocketmax fuel tanks put together in one, and it very much saves you the time of having to put 2 Rocketmax fuel tanks when there is one humongous one, which is already done for you. Also, there is a smaller Rocketmax fuel tank. So this one here. This fuel tank here was from 0.17, the smaller Rocketmax fuel tank, but they added a new one which is even smaller. So that is useful. Also, with the FLT 400 fuel tank, they've done the same thing. They've actually doubled up as well when it comes to size. So that's doubled up, and that is useful. There is an even smaller fuel tank. It's called the Oscar B fuel tank. You can just put it there. Look how small that is. Tiny. You can put many of them. Doesn't have much fuel, but it goes with the new liquid fuel engine, which is the LV1. Doesn't have much thrust. It says 1.50. Not very much. It does look kind of funny when the propulsion, when you turn it on, so that's interesting. Now we have, I think it's called RCS fuel. So yeah, we have side-mounted RCS fuel tanks here. Quite useful. Instead of having to actually put the fuel tank like this one there, yeah, and you can have some on the side. So that is good. Did I miss something? Yeah, nope. Okay, so over here you will see that there is another sort of rocket type thing. It doesn't really say what it is. What is it? Tiny engine, that's about it. Yeah, so this is for Rocketmax engines, and these are extremely useful. I've already used them a couple times and I found them quite cool, and I will show you what they do. Also, this is another fuel tank. Too many fuel tanks. So this is pretty much a lifeboat type thing, as you can see. It's quite interesting. Not much fuel in it either. Alright, so I'm just going to show you the speed at which this thing can go, and the rate at which the fuel would drain, which is crazy. 3, 2, 1. Very fast. It is very fast. Went up quite high already. So, what you might have noticed is that the electric current went down. So we now need electricity to actually control the pods, because if you don't have electricity, you will lose total control of the pods. Then you are in big trouble. So yeah, we're gonna come crashing down. I will skip this part. Alright, so when you get to control, you notice that the total mass of the advanced SAS module has been reduced. I believe it used to be 0.8 in mass, but it's been reduced by 0.7, which is very good. We needed that, and it looks way more better. Before it used to be, what, twice the size, probably? I don't really remember. It was pretty much bigger than this, so that's been nerfed. Next part. So when you get to structural, the first thing you will see, well, the first thing I saw was this Rocketmax brand adapter 02. What it does is, it's pretty much the same thing as the brand adapter here, this one there, but it's way more compact and has less mass. So what you do is you get a Rocketmax fuel tank, you can just place it there, and it's quite neat compared to having this big thing right there, which will further make your aircraft really shaky, and you don't want that. And I may as well put this thing back there. No, the other one. Alright, so they've added an extra decoupler in the game. It's called the radial decoupler. So that's this small one there. It has a small explosive charge, as they all do. Not much difference. They've changed the texture of the radial decoupler here, and I think they renamed it as well. I'm not sure. But anyway, so that's that one. As you can see down here, they've introduced a stack by coupler. So now you can put, it's pretty much dual stacking. So you can put two engines, two fuel tanks there, or engines if you'd like. So I'll show you with engines. So get an engine like that, put two engines like that, and that will actually work quite fine. I think that will be most useful for jets, in my opinion. If you go back to structural, you notice that there is a this is pretty much for docking. So this part here is for docking. So if you want to dock a ship to something, you know, you dock it to this thing. It's pretty useful, stuff like that. So yeah, they've also added a couple new like strut parts, which is very useful. You can place one there. That's a really tiny one. You can put a larger one there if I can. I won't be able to put that one there. This one I can connect it to that thing if I can get to it. Yeah, small part with a big part. And then this is a larger part, and that's pretty much those sizes. Next, so in Aero there hasn't been much of a change. Only I think about 2 things have been changed, and actually 3. So now they've added this protective nose cap, which is mainly used for, if I can do this, I probably won't be able to do this. Yeah, no, I won't be able to do this. Anyway, you can put this Rocket Max fuel tank like that, or like a pod, a large pod there. So I'll show you the pod. You can put the pod, that big pod, there. So it's quite neat. It's good for aerodynamics. And then we go back to wings. You will notice that they've added these cool looking things, which are radial air intakes. These things are compulsory. You need air intakes for jets now. So all jet engines need air intakes. This is an air intake. The engine nacelle, and then the radial engine body is an air intake. The ram air intake thing, circular intake, these are all intakes. You can use any one of them. Any one of them is fine, but you don't really need these with rockets. Don't advise you to put them on. And then one last thing is the Delta Deluxe winglet. So as you can see, there already is a surface area, a control surface area has already been placed for you, and that is quite neat, because I used to, like, I had to get this thing in the past, get that, and then struggle to put it on, right? Now the problem has been solved, and I've put this on horribly. Alright, so now within the game you need electricity, and the very thing that will contain electricity is this bank and this pack. So essentially the bank contains more electricity than the pack. And this is how they look. So that's the pack, that's the bank, and this is the pack. And you zoom in, you see a bit of writing. It's called Batman Batteries, so that must be the company. Maybe, I'm not sure. Alright, so this here, Hitchhiker's storage container, allows you to contain a maximum of 4 Kerbals. So you can put 4 Kerbals in here. You have to actually put them in there manually. You can't have your ship already with Kerbals in there. Like, you can't put them in right now. You can't do that. I don't know why they haven't added that. But as you can see here, should a docking port. So this docking port is just a docking port that will open up when you turn it on. So I can't really do that here, can I? No. But it will open up, and that is awesome. I'll show the opening up process later. Alright, so when you get back to utility, you'll notice that there is another docking port. This is a clamp on docking port. And then you have another smaller docking port. Nothing fancy, just simple stuff. This one here, this docking port here, the hull mounted one, is, in my opinion, made for ships, so spaceships. So if you want a spaceship to dock, then I advise you to put this on your spaceship. It pretty much opens up just like the shielded docking port, and I'll show you how everything works later on. Put it back there. So you will notice that they've added a solar array. So this one here is a huge solar panel, and I'll open that up at one as well. Scroll down, you'll see micro landing struts. So this is it. This is mainly for tiny ships, tiny crafts that you want to land. I don't advise you to put this on humongous ships like this one here, just very tiny crafts. And they've added an extra parachute. So this parachute here, MK25, is basically a parachute that can be deployed in very high altitude. And I think it says around here, when does it say? Deployment altitude 2500. That is quite useful compared to this other one, which is 500. So basically, be cautious about using this, especially in thick atmosphere, but you can deploy it very high distance, so that's awesome. Also, they've added a side, I think it's called side radial mount parachute. So that's there. This is good for spaceships or aircrafts that may need long, something like that. You get that point. You figure out. Just side mounted. That's about it. You'll see here thermitic generator. So you need to actually generate electricity, because electricity does drain quite fast, and this thing does it quite slowly, 60.0 per minute. It's very slow. It's always active. That's all I know. I haven't actually tested it out properly. You'll see here, this is a solar panel. This thing opens up, and along with the other one, both pretty much the same thing. I don't think there is a difference. There is a difference. One is wider than the other. That's about it. This one here is basically that. These two here, they're pretty much the same, and then this one here. So this one is already open. It doesn't close or open. It's already done for you. This one, you can close it or open it depending on what you want. It's your decision. Go over here. You'll see illuminator. So this is basically a light. Illuminator Mark II. This is a light as well. And then we have zero container. I'll explain that later. I don't know what that is. I'll find out. So both of these lights are quite powerful. They do drain electricity quite fast. Be cautious about using them. They do look quite cool in the dark though, and you may need a couple battery packs or banks all ready to go. Alright, so with this iron container, this is a control, it has gas within it. Gas, yes. So it's called xenon gas, and this is what you use with the ion engines. So if I find the ion engine, if I find it down here, no, not there, no, is it here? Just check there. Here it is. So this basically pairs up with that. Yeah. So essentially you need gas. Gas is what this iron engine works with, and electricity. It does drain electricity like crazy, so you need a high amount of solar panels or this thermitic generator. And I'll explain a bit more of that later on. It's mainly used for docking, so I wouldn't really advise you to use it on other planets. When you get to science, you'll see a whole lot of junk. Basically, you can put these on your ship, and when you're on a planet, or this planet, or any planet, wherever you are, you can right click it and it will tell you a whole lot of details about the environment, and I think, yeah, that's what it'll tell you about the environment. So yeah, that's all they're used for. You don't really have to put them on your ship, it's optional. But if you like to have a bit of information, then this is what you place down. Alright, so basically I will extend everything. I think this ship is gonna fall down. I deployed the parachute. My bad. You have to actually right click everything. So far, I don't know about some other features yet. But this is what you can do. You can click toggle. and it'll tell you the gravity. So on this planet, it has 9.81 ms for gravity, and this one 0.9841. Don't know what that means. This is just for communication. It's pretty much useless. It's only for looks. This one here is I don't know why you'd need this. Accelerator. No idea what that does. And then this is just a thermometer. It tells you the temperature. You should know that. Anyway, so this is a huge solar panel. It does receive quite a bit of electricity, and that's good. So with these struts, extend, they look quite cool. That is nice. This, I don't think we can see within them unless we put the Kerbals inside. I won't do that. You can turn the lights on, both of them. You can scroll up. If I can get up there, I can open this and click open shield. It will open up and that thing is ready for docking. And then the same thing here. If I can get to it. No, can I get to it? Toggle? What the hell's toggle? Yes, you click toggle, and toggle will open up that as well. For the batteries, you can right click the batteries and you can find out the charge. If the batteries are at 0, then that means they need electricity, because something is draining your electricity. And this solar panel here really does receive quite a bit of sunlight. It has a very high surface area. It's awesome. Or maybe we just try this thing out. Oh, we made it. That was unexpected. We made it again. Wow. I did not expect that. Okay, that wasn't meant to happen. Alright, so the Kerbal's texture has been changed, of course, and it does look way better. They've added this humongous desert, and I've been searching for monoliths there, so I've pretty much dumped a whole lot of ships everywhere. And I haven't found anything yet, so that's disappointing. If I scroll up, you will find a new planet, Dres. It is a very rocky planet. Not that rocky. It's alright, not bad. Basic planet. It's more like a moon, but it's a planet. A rock with no atmosphere, so that's fun. That's good for ion engines. So if you want to use them, you go to that planet. And then if you go to Joule, double click that, scroll in, you will see Pole. And if you look at the texture, it has humongous mountains. This is the most dangerous moon on Kerbal. On this solar system, it is really dangerous. Yeah, so it's pretty much deadly. Go there, your own calls. And then finally, Maha, my very favorite planet, which I died in so many times. Yeah, so they finally changed it. I don't really... What is that? Is that light? Do I see light? I see light there. I don't know. Maybe it's a monolith. Who knows? Yeah, so I don't know where the big, huge-ass crater is. I think this thing replaced it. Hey, I'm guessing in the middle that there's a monolith there. I won't bother trying. And I believe they've scraped off the atmosphere, so there's no atmosphere here anymore. I may be wrong. So that concludes this short video about the update. I know it's a bit boring, but people need to know about these things. I am working on a space station, a really huge one. This one here was just for practice, and I had quite a bit of fun doing it. The truth is, you know the huge ass solar panels that we were discussing before, like photonic solar panels I believe it's called? Yeah, I didn't really see them, and I put up these small solar panels, and before I actually had 4 ion engines here on another model of these rockets. 4 ion engines, and they drain electricity like crazy. But I won't make that mistake again. So, look forward to seeing me making space station. I will make a docking tutorial soon. Might take a bit of time to do so, but I will do that. Someone told me, or requested me to make the Pillar of Autumn from Halo. And I'm just wondering, how the heck am I going to make that? Pillar of Autumn, that's... I don't know how I'm going to make that. Like, you can't make that. You just be a big blob, like, almost like a square, that's all it is. There's nothing fancy in it. But what is fancy is the Halo ring, so I'm actually going to work on making the Halo ring from the Halo games, obviously. So I have an idea on how to do it, but it would take heaps of time, a large amount of time, and practice, so I'll pretty much be an expert when I've finished doing that. But anyway guys, thanks for watching, hope I didn't bore you out too much, and have a nice day.